Everyone, welcome again to my channel. So today we will discuss in our grid DFS problems another problem, that is number of islands, and the problem number is 200 in LeetCode. So I hope before that you have gone through the first two problems in this series, that is 733 flood fill and 463 island perimeter. If you have went through these videos, I hope you will easily able to do the solution for this problem 200. Means I don't have to explain anything, you can only come up with the solution. But also let's see like how we can solve this using our techniques of grid DFS problems. So the problem statement is saying, given an m into n 2D binary grid which represents a map of ones and zeros. 1 means land and 0 means water. Return the number of islands. An island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. Okay, you may assume all four edges of the grid are all surrounded by water. That means 1 is land, 0 is water. So if you take the example here in this grid, what is called as island here? If you check, if I mark here, this particular area will be one single island. Okay, because all of them are one and they are connected either horizontally or vertically. Now in this case rest of them are water because they are 0. So the number of island here is 1. Now if we take another example and if I mark the island part, so here you can check this part can be one island because they are all one and connected horizontally and vertically. This one will be one island, and if you check here diagonally if they are connected, we are not considering that. Only we have to connect it horizontally or vertically. So this one can be also an island, and rest of the area is water. So that's why the answer is 3, because 3 islands are there. See how we can solve this problem. So in this board I have written and marked water and land separately. So whatever is one, those are all land. Okay, and from our eye we can see that 3 total island is possible here, right? This part and this part, right? But the question is how we can solve this. So the whole input we will get as a 2D matrix or grid, right, which will be filled with 0 and 1. And for any matrix, if we go through all the cells, what we do? Generally, we use two for loop, right? One we maintain for row and one we maintain for column. So we will scan from this side, right? Then we will go through all this, then this one, and then this one, right? So our first job is to find one cell which has 1. So if we scan from the starting point, then if we come here, we can see that one cell is there which has value as 1. Now from that cell, we have to start our like DFS call. So what is this DFS call? DFS calls means we have to check for this cell left, right, top or down any other cell is present where also the value is 1 or not. So if we check from here, and I will change the color and show you. Let's take some another color. So if I go to this direction 0 is present. That means we will not go. This direction also 0 is present. We will not go. Top we will not go. Down we will go, means our call will proceed because here 1 is present. Means we can again go and search for any area which is also 1 or land. Then we will get into this area, and as soon as we will find some area we have to mark it with some different number, or maybe we can say it is occupied, means we already discovered this land. So what we can do for this is maybe we can replace it with some different number apart from 0 and 1. Let's say we will convert it as 2. Okay, that means this cell is visited. Now when we will come here, here also 4 direction we can go. So this direction we can't go, and we will put some condition that if it is already 2, so we can't go to that direction, means which is already visited, that side we can't go. So only our choice is we can go to our left side, and before going we will mark this as visited, so we will make it as 2. Now if we go to the left side, here also 4 direction we can go. but this direction we can't go because those are 0 and this is out of boundary or out of grid, so we can't go. So from here we can't move anywhere. We will just simply update it as 2. Okay. Now if you check the DFS call which we started from this particular cell, from here we can't move anywhere else. Okay, so one of our DFS call is completed. Okay, so one call we have just completed. Now nowhere we can go from here. That means we discovered all the land area which is started from this particular cell. Now what will be our job? Again we have to go and search for the next cell where 1 is present. So here it is not already discovered, then here it is not present, it is 0, 0, 0. And these two land are already converted to 2. That means we already visited those. So we have to skip those. And again we can come here and find another one. Okay. So here also we have to apply DFS to 4th direction. But before that what we have to do? We have to make it as 2 because this is a visited cell. And if we go to 4th direction, all 4 direction will fail and the call will remain here only. So we will update the count another +1. That means we did another DFS call successfully. So from here we started one DFS call and completed. Here we started one DFS call and it is completed and it not went further because all cells are 0, neighbor cells. Now this part is completed. Now if we check again, if we go forward, this is 0. From here we can't start a DFS call. All are 0, all are 0. And here again we got another cell. Means here we can apply DFS because it is 1. So what we can do is we can first make it as 2 and then we can go 4 direction to check. This direction we can't go, this direction we can't go. Here also it is out of boundary. This side I got another one. Means this side we can proceed for our DFS call. And we can come here and make it as 2. Now if we have to go from here, so this direction we can't go, here we can't go, here we can't go. So another successful DFS call we made starting from this particular point. So we have to make a +1 here, right? So just what we have to do is we have to traverse all the cells and whenever we are getting 1, from there we have to start one DFS call and we have to complete the DFS call. That means all those cells which are connected and 1, that we have to convert as to some number as 2 or anything. That means those are visited. So next time when the control will come to this point, it will get that this is already visited, so we don't have to check, and it will check for a 1. And whenever it will get 1 from there again it will start a DFS calls. So our main job is to find how many successful DFS call we made in the entire process. That will be our answer. Okay, and in this case the answer will be 3. Okay, now I will do a side by side code walkthrough, then it will be easy to understand. We have to define some variable called n, m and grid. N and m basically the row and column length. Okay, and grid is the input grid. Okay, so this will be our method which will be given in LeetCode or any other platform. We will get the grid as input. So what we have to do is we have to check the row length and the column length, and the grid we can assign as a global variable, or you can keep on passing it in the DFS call itself also. Okay, now we have to take one count variable as our result. So what we have to do is we have to scan through this entire grid with I and j, and we have to check where we will get our first character, which is 1. So here if you check, we got our 1 here, means we will get here. From there we have to start one DFS call, and with that DFS call what we have to pass is the I and j, means the row and column index. Okay, now when this DFS call will be done, it will affect all these cells, right? And after that it will be done, then it will come back again and the controller will start from here. That time we have to make the count as +1, means one successful DFS call just now we finished. Okay, so this is simple. Now what we have to write in DFS call, that is also simple. So in DFS call we have to pass the I and j, means the index. So first thing we have to check is this I and j is going out of the boundary or not. That means, as I told, right, there will be possibility, means if we are making a DFS call in 4 direction, so this direction is out of boundary, right? So from here this direction will be out of boundary, so we have to handle that thing, or else some array out of bound exception or null pointer we can get, right? So I am checking if I is less than 0 or I is greater than equal to m, or the row length, or j less than 0 or j greater than equal to n. That time you have to return, we don't have to go for further DFS call. Then what we are checking is if the C, means the current character in that cell, is 0 or 2. 2 means already visited. That time also you have to return, means that time also we don't have to go further, right? Then if all these cases are not there, that time you have to come to that grid and make it as 2, means visited. And from there we have to go 4 direction like top, down, left and right, and again make a DFS call. So how we can do that? I minus 1 j, I j plus 1, I plus 1 j and I j minus 1. That way in 4 direction we can go. Like suppose from here we can go to 4 direction, right? And if we check here, from here we can go to 4 direction, right? So this area, the call will be blocked by this condition, right? So this side it will be blocked by this condition, and when this side it will come, that time it will allow. Okay, and that time we have to make that current grid as 2, and then we have to proceed. From here also, when the call will get into 4 direction, that time this side and this side it can't go because of this condition, and this side it can't go again because of the character equal to 2 condition, because that side we already visited. Only this side we are allowed to go. Okay, from here this side we can't go because of this condition, that because our j is like minus, means less than 0 that time, right? So this is the complete code, and if you run it, what will happen? So first DFS call it will complete and come back, and then it will make the count to 1, then 0 0, all this area it can't go because this will be converted to 2 after the DFS call. So again here it will get 1 1, and it will again go into the DFS call. So after when it will come back, it will make again it to +1, right? And like that way from here also it will start one DFS call and make all this as one part DFS call, and it will be +1. So the answer will be 3 returned. Now we will check in the LeetCode. Before submitting the solution to LeetCode, we will talk about the time complexity part. So the time complexity will be O of m into n. M and n is the row and column length. Why it is? Suppose all the grid are 0, means all the cells are 0 here. So in that case, what will happen? We have to traverse to the entire matrix, and we can't start any DFS call, right? So that will take O mn of time to visit all these cells. Let's say all cells values are 1. Okay, that time what will happen? From here we will start our DFS call, and as all these cells are connected because all are 1, then we have to do a DFS call for each and every one of the cell. So that will again also take O mn of time because total we have mn number of cells, right? So in the worst case, the time complexity will be O of m into n. And space wise, we are not taking any extra space. So space we don't have to consider in this case. So now if we submit the solution, it is working. Thanks for watching.